Hi, welcome to Sacred Enzyme. I'm Stacy. I hope you're doing well today. So we're going to decode our first structure, and it's going to be the Statue of Liberty. And so is this another artifact that's left behind to remind us of Venus? So we're going to decode this with our Venus eyes. So when you look at the Statue of Liberty, the first thing you know is notice is the crown. It's got 7 rays on it. Well, 7 is the spirit number. And my brother, he used to love number 7. We used to say 7's the number of heaven. 7 is the spirit number, the overseer field in the invisible realm. And then the other thing is the number 13 is the number that signifies the primordial mother. And 13's been removed from everything. So if you take 13, you put it with 7, you get 137, the number 137, which is a really important number because that's the constant that determines how matter holds together. So atoms can't exist without the number 13, 7, 137. So if you take the number 137, you add those digits together, you get the number 11. And 11 reduces to 2. So we're right back to the mirror number again, which is really interesting. So 137 just doesn't build form, it builds mirrored form. So this is a world of polarity, reflection, inversion, and twin pathways. So we've talked about this 12 by 12 system that we're stuck in, right? So if 137 is the number that creates the mirror, then how do we shift the mirror? Well, we shift the mirror with the number 237. 237 has been in my field ever since I got pregnant with my son. And it's finally making sense because it's been coming up a lot lately. Matter of fact, one of the channels that I've subscribed to that also subscribe to my channel, and we comment back and forth on each other's channels. He studies cryptids. Cosmic Wildman. Last week, couple weeks back, he had made a comment on one of the videos about the number 137, and I said, well, that's really interesting because I'm always seeing 237, and I started seeing that when I got pregnant with my oldest son. And this is exactly, I got pregnant on New Year's Day in 1993. So it's literally 33 years, which is interesting because I just got like massive flooding of downloads of all of this Venus geometry stuff. So that is the moment that I got activated because I became a mother. So the template in my field shifted. So the fact that 237 has been with me for 33 years just kind of felt like a message for me because 33 years is the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. A Venus cycle. And it's a transformation cycle. It's a symbolic crucifixion rebirth moment. So when you start thinking about a Venus and a 33 moment, you start thinking, well, that's kind of interesting. Because Jesus was 33, right? He was 33 when he was crucified. So this is another thing that I segued into that started rolling around in my head. So they talk about these ages being 2,160 years. And if they say that Jesus is coming back in 2,000 years, but we don't know the exact hour of his arrival, right? If you take 2160, which is what they consider an age, a lot of these civilizations said was an age, and you divide that by the number 33, you get almost 66. You get 65 and some numbers. You have to remember that time's been messed up. So 66 is 6 doubled. So it's structure repeating itself. It's the form template running its full course inside of an age. So 6 is the number of form. 6 is the hexagon. 6 is the structure that carbon uses. Don't forget that we're carbon crystal, right? This is how they are able to take bodies and turn them into lab-created diamonds, is because 6 is the structure that carbon uses. 6 is the building block of crystals, bees, honeycombs, snowflakes, everything that knows how to hold energy, guys. So when one age, 2,160, divides into 66 symbolic transformation arcs, it means an entire age is a cycle of 6 pattern activations, a full expression of the world template. So because once you see the 66 pattern, you start thinking, okay, well, what's the number of 666 in all of this? So why are we taught to fear this? We're taught to fear our own mother. See, this is the level of overlays, distortion, and harvesting that's going on the planet. Is that we're taught to fear 66, 666. We're taught to fear 13. Oh, it's unlucky. That's the number of Satan. In the version, maybe, but not in the original template. It's not. I'm sorry. So you'll understand why all this keeps repeating in just a second. So the hexagon as the 6th template flows perfect because 6 template shows itself in nature, hexagons and snowflakes and everything else. But a 5-pointed star fits exactly inside a hexagon. Okay, 5 is Venus, 6 is form. So we have Venus inside of form. So 5 inside of the 6 gives us 56. If you add 5 and 6 together, what do you get? 11. We're right back to the mirrors. We're right back to the same principle as 137. It reduces to 11, which reduces to 2. So we're right back at the mirror. The heart nested inside of form creates reflection. The feminine principle inside matter creates duality. The Venus star inside the hexagon creates a mirrored universe. It's the same loop everywhere. 137 equals 11 equals 2. 56 equals 11 equals 2. Ages, 66 cycles equals a 6th template. So all of it returns back to this mirror. So let's talk about the Venus coding that's in the Statue of Liberty. We've got the torch, which is the morning star. We've been told that Lucifer is evil, right? In this inversions timeline, maybe they practice Luciferian, which is the worship of the inversion of the Divine Mother. We've talked about this before. We have to take back the accurate symbology because we are manifesting a reality with our minds, guys. We are. Copper is the metal of Venus. When copper oxidizes, it turns green. Green is the color of 5. Green is the color of the heart. Green is the color of Venus. The robes, this is classical Venusian dress, iconography. The 7 rays is the spirit field, the crown, the star fort base, right? This is gateway geometry. Every detail reflects the Venus template. And she's not the only Statue of Liberty that is here. There's all kind of statues like her all over the world, replicas everywhere. And so when you look closely at the bases of these statues and old world monuments, you'll see a repeating pattern. You'll see the hexagon, the 6-sided foundation. 6 is the architecture of nature. It's the honeycomb, the snowflake, and the water molecule. It's the atom carbon, the carbon atom, which is the building block of all life. It's crystal lattices. It's sacred geometry used in temples and old world construction. A hexagon is literally the shape of a crystal base. It's how crystals organize energy. So energetically, the hexagon is a stabilizer and a conductor. It doesn't sit sit flat. What it does is it pulls energy upwards like a vortex. So it contains energy, it amplifies energy, and it transmits it out. So this is why bees build hexagons. They're stabilizing and amplifying the life force that's in the hive. This is why crystals use hexagonal symmetry. It's the most efficient shape for storing energy and being able to project it. So when you see one of these statues sitting on a hexagonal or a star fort base, it's not random. It's architectural energy work. It's grounding energy from below, pulling it up and radiating it out. So this is what these Liberty statues were doing. I don't know if they're still doing it now. They're probably doing the inversion because I've seen some interesting content. Like it was years ago. It was about the world. It was about a tree and Rockefeller tree, and the other one was the Lincoln Memorial, I think it was, and the Statue of Liberty bases, and people going in and not coming back out, and people that were immigrating here in the 1800s said that Ellis Island, or the Statue of Liberty Island now, because Ellis Island was in the other timeline that we came from, and we got a Mandela effect. Ellis Island was what it used to be called, and they had a smell that people had recorded in history that was so foul that every day that it would just be in the air would be filled with it. It smelled like dead bodies. But I don't know, I wasn't there. So when you remember where the Statue of Liberty is sitting, you'll start to remember that technically it does sit in New Jersey, which is the Garden State, guys. So now we're seeing a whole nother layer here. Is that just a nickname, that New Jersey is a garden state, or is that a metaphor for the original garden template? The Venusian world, the mother timeline, perhaps? So when you zoom out, the pattern gets even clearer. We see these Roman-looking buildings, these Greek buildings. We see all of this old architecture that we're like, oh, this is this is Celtic, this is Iberian. I see it everywhere in Florida, absolutely everywhere. Ringley's Museum, all of the colleges, all this stuff, all these old world structures, the red bricks that they covered up with the stucco and paint so you won't see the red bricks anymore. You have to think about this. This is like what we're calling this out of place archaeology, old world remnants. But what if it's a leftover memory of a previous cycle, guys? What if all of this that we're talking about is a Venus cycle? This is not just Tartaria and Atlantis and all. These are Venus cycles. This is when the harmonics of the planet has gone up. But, we're in the age of Aquarius, and it's a symbolic return of the template. And we are going further and further now than we ever have, as far as really looking at this stuff and drilling down on what we got to do to step into the 13th archetype. We need to open our eyes in our field, and we need to be able to decode everything that we're seeing around us, because it is encoded with the original template. We have to embody a return. We have to embody a return of this original template. We have to start stepping into our purpose. Aquarius is the age of awakening, innovation, and knowledge, and collective consciousness. So Venus has always been the archetype of rebirth, descent, return, and transformation. So we could possibly just be entering this new 2160 age. It could absolutely be seen as the beginning of another Venus coded cycle. A moment where this mirror is shifting, right? And we're going back to our unified antiparticle self, where we can embody our true archetypes for real. So the Statue of Liberty might not just be just a symbol of freedom. It might be a reminder that we forgot a lot of stuff. And one thing we forgot is working from our heart space. That we have to put the star inside the hexagon. And the star amplifies from being in that form. So this is the amplification of the heart space that creates 11, that brings the mirrors back into coercion with each other. Into unification. Maybe coercion's not quite the word. That's kind of like forcing somebody to do something. But, into resonance. Back into resonance with our twin. We're merging our twin. And Venus is our twin, guys. She is. So with that, when you come and find me, I'll be here, because we're living in the past, present, and the future. So we'll be on to Bach Tower next. I have a ton of footage I've got to go through. So I'm going to have to find some type of program that I can download the stuff into, so I can edit my videos and I guess start doing them a little bit better than what I've been doing. But you know what? This is grassroots here, guys. This is all work here with no frills and no fluff and none of that stuff. So when you come and find me, I'll be here. We're living the past, present, and the future all at the same time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share the videos, and comment below. Thanks for watching. Sacred Enzyme. Have a great day. Bye-bye.